everyone, welcome to my channel where I will be crocheting it forward in this video by showing you my Hello Kitty pattern. It's really easy. Excuse me, the only stitches you need to know are the double crochet, the single crochet, and chain and slip stitch. So let's get started. This is my basic Hello Kitty, but in my next video I'm going to show you how to make it into a granny square, so you can like put a bunch of them together, maybe some solids, and alternate, every other one being a Hello Kitty. And then I have another video where I'm going to show you how to make my Diva Hello Kitty, and it's just a bunch of hairstyles that I've come up with. This one has a little side swoop with curly hair off to the side. I think it's super cute. And then this one has some buns or Afro puffs, whichever you prefer. And I did those in two colors. That one was black and this one is a brown. And then also I'm going to show you how to make the bigger bow. You can make the bows whatever size you want. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But I'll show you how to make the bows. So let's get started. The materials you need, I'm using a 5.5 eye hook. I'm not sure if you can see that. Millimeter hook. I have a smaller hook on standby that I always have. I have some scissors, and then I have two threaded needles. One with yellow for Hello Kitty's nose, and then one with black for her eyes, which are standard. So let's get started. We're going to do a magic circle, or you can chain 2 or 3, however you make your magic circle. That is totally up to you. Okay. And it's going to just be kind of standard increases for your circle pattern. Let me move this light a little. It's a little dark over here. Maybe it's not going to let me. Okay. And I'm kind of, in case you've noticed, I've changed the lighting in the background. So hopefully you'll be able to see the pattern a little better, how I work it. So I just do my magic circle with an unfinished knot, and I always slip to join, and then you will chain 2, and then we're going to make 10 double crochets in your circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and tighten your circle if you want. 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull that tail, and then we want to single crochet at the top of your first double crochet and not your chain. Okay, now I make my ovals a little different. I know that most patterns, in order for you to make an oval, they require you to chain like on 2 different sides, but I didn't do that. I just do an increase on each end. An increase on each end for a couple rows, and then it turns into an oval on itself. I just think that that's way more simpler. The count is simpler, and that's just my method, and that's the pattern. So we are going to make that this way. So we know we have 10 double crochets, and in the 5th we're going to make 3 double crochets in the 1st and the 5th, but we're going to pick up wherever our increase is, and this row the increase is going to be 2 double crochets in each stitch. So we're going to chain up for our height, and then we're going to make 3 double crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. This is our first stitch. This is our second. So we're going to make 2 double crochets. third stitch, 2 double crochets. Sorry, I have to keep getting more yarn. All right, I'm going to finish this one. And what stitch is that? That was our third. Our fourth stitch, 2 double crochets. And then we're at our fifth stitch, so we know we're in the middle of our circle. We're going to make 3 double crochets. We're going to stop wherever we are at in our increase and just make our oval increase. Let's say that. And then just pick up on your sixth stitch with 2 double crochets. Seventh stitch, 2 double crochets. Eighth stitch, 2 double crochets. Ninth stitch, 2 double crochets. And then now we're back to our 10th stitch and we're just making 2 double crochets. Okay, slip to join at the top of our very first double crochet and not the chain 2. And now we have our second row done. Okay, and then this is our last increase round, so we're going to chain up 2, make 3 double crochets because it's our oval increase. 1, 2, 3, and then the increase for this round is 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next. You will repeat that until you get to your 11th stitch, at which time we will stop and make our 3 double crochets. And then in the 12th stitch, we'll pick up where we left off on the increase. So this is 3 for the first, 1 in the second, 2 double crochets in your third stitch, 1 in your fourth, 2 in your fifth, 1 in your sixth, 2 in your seventh, and I'm just counting the stitch of the row, the number of stitch, the stitch number of the row. I think that was 7, but we'll just confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep. 1 in the 8th. Oops. Try that again. 1 in the 8th. 2 in the 9th. 1 in the 10th. Whoops. Wait a minute. Yes, we're right. Because we're going to stop that increase and then we're in our 11th stitch, so we have to make 3 double crochets for that oval increase. Remember I said wherever we're at in our increase, we got to stop what we're doing, and then we're going to pick up with that second part of the increase that was in the 10th stitch. So the 10th stitch is the 10th stitch is 1 double crochet, the 11th stitch is our 3 double crochet oval increase, and then our 12th stitch is 2 double crochets. Our 13th is 1 double crochet. Our 14th is 2 double crochets. 15th is 1 double crochet. 16th is 2 double crochets. 17th is 1 double crochet. 18th is 2. 19th is 1. 20 is 2. And 21 is 1. And then we end up on an even increase. So the 1, 2, 1, 2 is not broke up. That's what I mean by that. Grab some more yarn. And this is it, guys. This is it. And then we just go on to do our ears and our face. It's a very simple, beginner-friendly pattern. So what I did is I've slip stitched in the top of the first double crochet, not the chain 2. So from here, now we're making the ears. Okay, we're going to slip stitch in the next 2. Okay, I'll grab this yarn. and then half double crochet. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Okay, half double crochet 2. No, I'm sorry. Single crochet 2. I didn't write my pattern down. I've been making so many of them, I thought I didn't have to. But I was finishing up with bows. Okay, so we have 2 slip stitches, 2 single crochets in the same stitch, 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Okay, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, a triple crochet in that same stitch, a picot in this stitch, which is a chain 2, and then we're going to single crochet in the 2 front loops of the double crochet and the triple crochet. We're just going to slip. That's a picot, and then we're going to double crochet in that same stitch. So you have a double stitch, a double crochet, a triple crochet, a chain 2 picot, and then a double crochet. So we're going to go back down the other side of the ear and make 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're just going to repeat that. 2 single crochets in the same stitch, 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the next stitch, a triple crochet in the next stitch, the same stitch I mean, and then a 2 chain picot, and then we're going to slip stitch in the front loop of the double crochet and the triple crochet. Just grab our yarn and slip, and then double crochet in that same stitch, just like we did on the other ear. Now we're going to do the other side. 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 2 slip stitches. 2 slip stitch in each of the next 2, and you should be at the end of your increase. Your chain 3. If the count works out right, that's where you should be. We're going to cut our yarn, and that is it. Okay, that is our Hello Kitty pattern. So real quick, we're going to do our nose, and the nose is really easy. You just see where your center stitch is right here, where the center is. Go right underneath that and make your nose. Because all the pictures that I have of Hello Kitty, the nose is kind of low, because you got to have room on her forehead for that bow. So I've gone in from the back and out the front, and it's a double, two yarns, and just pull that through. So you just have a nice cute little nose. We're going to turn it around and tie our work. I don't know, it's up to you how you want to do these. If you want to make them two-sided, that's fine, but this is going on a blanket, so I'm not too concerned of what the back is going to look like. So I'm just going to go ahead and just tie these into a knot. Real quick. That simple. Okay, and there you have her nose. Moving on to her eyes. Now the eyes are low as well. Just try to pinpoint. I know that they're just a tad bit above her nose, like I said in some of the pictures, and if you want you can Google some pictures too. I've been putting my nose like right here after the second row, before it's at the second and third rounds I mean, and it's kind of been the same in each spot, but I'm going to show you a technique that I use to cheat. So I also have it double threaded, I mean with yarn, my needle at least, and then I went out from the bottom, and then I'm going to go up, and I know how big I want my eye. And that's it. No, I'm not doing the French knot. Normally I do the French knot, but I'm not doing that. And again, all I'm doing is just tying a knot back here to have our first eye, Hello Kitty eye done. And cut our yarn, and then there we have one done. Now what I was doing also is, and you can have pin cushions if you want, I mean pins from a pin cushion, but if you can take your needle and kind of eyeball where you're going to go in, like I know I want to go in right around there, so I just take my little thumb and I put it there, and then I know to come out that way from the bottom. Okay, and I don't want too much in the back, so I still have to tie a knot. And I'm going to go up about the same amount I went with the other eye. And let me see, when I tie that, is that going to, yeah, that works for me. So I just turned it around, and I'm going to tie another knot. And these eyes, if one looks too small or one looks too fluffy, just take your needle and fluff it out a little bit. You can work with it. If you don't like it all together, just take it out and do it again. It's not a big deal. They're just eyes. But I'm cool with that. See how you can fluff them out? Okay, now let's move on to the bow. Now I'm going to show you how to make the small bow, but there is a big bow. Like, I have two different bows here. This one was just worked up in 3 rows. This one I worked up 3 rows. It was a chain 5 plus 1 plus your turning chain, and then it was 3 rows. This one is a chain 9, so you have 8 rows, 8 chains I mean, and then I did like 4 or 5 rows, but you can play with it however. I'm sorry, this one was the smaller bow, and this is a chain 5, chain 6 for 5 stitches for 1, 2, 3, I think it was 3 rows, and then this one is a chain 9, which is 8 stitches because it's a turning chain. And then I did like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 rows for that one. So however big you want your bow, just go for it. And okay, great. Let me go get my yarn because apparently I didn't bring it. Super duper sorry, but it was right on the table. So real quick, let's do this super easy bow. So you're just going to take your color, whatever color you want your bow, and I'm going to do the small one. We're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to single crochet back to your first chain for a total of 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we're going to turn our work. No, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and in that same stitch under your chain, very first one, we're going to single crochet, and then single crochet 2 back across, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1, last row, and turn your work, and then single crochet in that same stitch under it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to chain 1, and you want to leave about 7 inches just to be safe for sewing on this tail. first thing we're going to do, get our needle and sew in this initial tail, the first tail that we had when we did our chain. And you can sew it in how you want. I'm just going to go kind of across diagonal because of how we're going to tie our bow together. We're going to bring that middle part, and I know it's going to stay. So that's all I'm doing, and I'm only doing that once. Okay, now we're going to thread our long tail. Okay, now I'm going to get this, figure out which side is going to be your front, because that's going to matter. That's the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and get right to the middle stitch, because this has 5 stitches, so I know the middle stitch in the middle of my bow is going to be the 3rd stitch. Okay, you don't want to tug on that one. Okay, go in one more time. Oop, my tail. Right, so you have it like this, and you have your string in the middle. So now I need you to drop your needle and yarn and then just wrap around. Okay, you want to use like your 3 fingers here. Probably want to grab it with your thumb and ring finger, the bottom, and then the top like this, your index and your middle, and then just kind of bunch it. We're going to wrap around. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, see how it's coming together? Now we're going to grab our needle again and try to stick it. This is a real big needle, so it's proving to be a bit of a challenge to get it through back in the middle so that it will stay. Okay, there we have it. That's our bow, and depending on what side you want it, I've seen pictures where Hello Kitty has it on the right, she has it on the left. It's totally up to you. Okay, and we're just gonna right underneath the ear. Okay, you'll want to sew it on. I'm gonna have to get some more yarn because this is not enough to secure it the way I want to, but I am going to go ahead and just sew it on right now, just to secure it. But you want to do this part all the way around. I just don't have enough yarn, and I'm not going to do that on camera. Anyway, what I do is I turn it around and just grab the strand and pull it through a couple stitches. I like to make at least 3 knots. Turn your work upside down, whatever. Nobody's going to see it if it's the one side kitty. Now you can sew this. You can make a single crochet row border all the way around this, and then put it on a blanket in the corner like a C2C, or you can make little C2C blocks and then sew it on there, which is not what I'm doing for the back to school poncho that I'm doing. But again, yeah, that's it. Super simple, super easy. I'm sorry if I confused anybody. As always, that is not my intention, and I'm sorry if I went too fast. But again, my next video is going to show you how to turn this into a granny square. Okay, and then I'm going to have a video, my Diva Hello Kitty video, where I show you how to make her fancy hair. I think the next 2 I'm going to do is pigtails and maybe braids. That's what I'm thinking. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. Share the video if you know somebody that would love this pattern. And as always, together, let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.